Mike Duffy, you wrote a big piece for Time magazine last week highlighting 3 dangers Bush is pushing about if we withdraw: increased sectarian violence, safe haven for al-Qaeda, and a proxy war in Iraq fueled by its neighbors. Let's start with that first one. What is the president warning us about, and is it legitimate? Is there going to be a civil war, and can we stop it if we stay there forever?
The administration estimates that though we have 1,000 Iraqis dying a month at the current rate, that could explode, maybe 10 times as many if the U.S. leaves. The problem is that no one really knows what those numbers are, Chris. Some of the civil war is already exploding in places that are on a much bigger basis than they can keep track of. There's no indication from the administration that the troops that we have there are actually keeping that number down or in a position to do so, and it may continue even if we do stay, and may grow if we stay. So there's only so much that the U.S. policy at the moment can do about the civil war.
Every day we get up and read the papers. Every day we watch the nightly news with these reports coming out of Baghdad with explosions everywhere. People getting killed. You read numbers, 56 one day, 24 the next day, every day. It doesn't look like we're stopping the civil war. It looks like we're sort of keeping it on a slightly lower burner. Will the American people back a holding action for the next X many years?
Well, it's all about fear of the unknown. And as we're seeing, it is potentially much more explosive if we were to have a reduced presence. And that's what the president is focusing on. But will people be patient for that? Because it is in some ways of the doing of this government that unleashed this ugliness.
Yeah. David, do you think the American people are going to see this as a moral issue, that we got to stick there to avoid the kind of helicopter takeoff from the embassy back in Vietnam days? David, you've been covering intelligence for years. You've written a great book about a body of lies that's out there. Soon to be a movie, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me ask you about this question. When we get a national intelligence estimate that says al-Qaeda is back and strong and all over the world, what good does this war in Iraq do to reduce that threat?
Well, I mean, these struggles are different fronts of the same war. There is a radical Islamic movement that is active all over the world and seeking to hit U.S. targets and targets of our allies, and so it's obviously true.
Is it as strong as it was in 9/11?
Well, this national intelligence estimate says that it has regained its strength, and most important, it's regained a safe haven in northwest Pakistan. And the big question the U.S. is going to have to decide. That's a very stark warning that they have a platform to stage 9/11 level attacks. What are we going to do about it? The notion that, you know, a defeat for the United States and its allies in Iraq is costless in terms of the larger war against al-Qaeda is just wrong. I mean, you know, bin Laden said again and again, the Americans are weak. If you hit them hard, they'll run away. If we hit them hard, they said they were hit hard in Beirut, they ran away. They were hit hard in Somalia, they ran away. If the Iraq experience shows the same thing, that movement will be
but that's part of the Bush argument, though, isn't it?
It is the argument.
Well, whether it's Bush's argument or not,
veracity.
I think anybody who rejects it out of hand hasn't read Osama bin Laden's writing.
Okay, what